What's good, everybody? Fabled here, and today's story time is another recent one, taking place about a month or two ago at my homie's birthday B&B. This one's a banger, so let's get right into the video. Now, this story starts off on a special day, taking place not only on the weekend, but one of my homie's 18th birthdays. So we're gonna call him Hayden. And while Hayden isn't my day one best friend or anything, he's a homie I met through one of my close friends. We had hung out with the friend group together a couple times during the last school year and summer, and Hayden is my tree plugs. Now, not only is Hayden the tree plug, but I also sold and done Zans with him, acid, and we also talked about popping Molly sometimes. And since we had a lot of mutual school friends, I wasn't surprised when Hayden invited me to his 18th birthday party, where he said it would be a small little function at an Airbnb he got. He said they're going to be turning up too, bottles everywhere, hella weed, and he was going to be busting out some Molly just for this night. Of course I said I'm down, especially since I hadn't taken Molly before this point, and it's definitely something that was on the bucket list. A little while later was the day of the actual party, and I worked on this day too, so I had woken up like the usual, and this was before I worked morning, so I would usually just chill for a couple hours, then go work 12 to 6. Nothing interesting happened, just smoked on my breaks, and had the big homie go buy me a bottle when we got off. I did get off around 6 too, with the party starting around 7:30, so I still had a good amount of time to get home, change, and pick up the homie before sliding. And that's what I did. Hayden said to bring Trigger out, so of course, me and the homie Abel from the Taking Shrooms at the Water Park video pull up with both. And when we got there, it's probably 4 other people, including Hayden there. Fortunately, we had to find out that there was going to be no Molly or acid going around, which I was really looking forward to, like leading up to this night. But they did have hella bottles, so I started off with a birthday shot with Hayden. Then somebody handed me a little twisted tea, but I don't remember who or if I really drank that. Me and Abel decided to not really drink too hard though, cause he was sick and I was driving home. We decided to just be dedicated rollers for this function and go crazy on the weed. Before all that though, Hayden had to give us the crib tour, and this Airbnb was pretty nice. It was 2 stories, nice backyard, perfect little spot for this night to take place, with the only downside being there was ring cameras in the front, and you're not supposed to have parties, so that limited the amount of people we could get inside, but we were still chilling. The upstairs was off limits for the night. One of the homies that got a room, since some of them were staying the night, brought his bong out for us, and this is where Hayden asked if I wanted to buy a dispo that he would throw for 20, and since it was the homie's birthday, I decided I had to just support the business. It was a cookies dispo, which already kind of seemed fake, but I just threw that bitch in my pocket for later. After we go downstairs, it was time to roll up, like a lot. The same work homie that got me the bottle had gone to a weed convention a couple of weeks before, so he also threw me all different types of wraps that I wanted to try this night. April rolls a wood, I roll a wood, and we go to the backyard, where by now there were about 10 to 15 people here. All these I knew from freshman year of high school, and about half of them probably been in videos before or are going to. Spark these woods up and pass them around though, just chopping it up. I had to go to the front yard for a sec to give a different homie some nick because he was picking up, and then went back inside to roll again. I had some billionaires clubs, king palms, all different types of wraps, and this was all we really did for a couple hours back and forth. Me and Abel would roll one, smoke it, somebody would pull out the bong or a joint, we'd pass that around, go roll again. At this point we were probably 10 to 20 woods deep already. We had a couple woods and probably 10 joints lit at once. Everyone at the party had their own joint to smoke, with the woods still going in rotation too. It was a real stoner function with a little drinking going on, but mostly straight cheat. Eventually we slowed down on the woods though a couple hours later, where I was sitting outside with 3 of the homies, and remembered I brought a pen. So I whipped that bitch out and let somebody else get first hit, where he almost blinkered that hoe, and when he exhaled, I could smell the straight rubber and burnt metals in the air. Like, I know how pen's supposed to smell, and that shit, yeah, I mean it even smelled fake, and I told that nigga, and I don't hit that bitch at all, just pass it around to the other homies who all hit it and say it tastes weird, but it was nothing too crazy yet. So I just get the pen back, put it in my pocket. And about 5 minutes later, I'm chopping it up with the same niggas when I start to feel my leg tingling a little. Then I start to feel heat, like I just held a lighter down for 5 minutes, then put it in my pocket, or like amber just fell on me and burnt a hole through my pants. It was neither of those though. I reached back into my pocket and pulled out the little cookies dispo, where it was hot as hell, almost too warm to hold. And this hasn't happened to me in a long time, so I'm just confused at this point. My hand started burning too. I threw that bitch to the homie, who couldn't hold it with his bare hands either, but still tried to blink that hoe. Of course he starts dying too, so I go inside where Hunter is with about 8 people, and I let them take turns passing around the hot potato. And then Hunter eventually feels it and immediately sends my Cash App back because he knew something was wrong with that. He has to keep it to show his plug since the dispo on the table, where I thought it would be over with, but no. As it's sitting on the table, I hear a little pop noise. Then I see the cap of the dispo fly right off into the wall, into the fucking sunset, as wax starts dripping out this dispo, and it was dripping fast too. That's how you know that shit was fake. The wax is pouring all over the table. It's not anything too crazy though. We get it cleaned up. Of course I got my bread back, but you know, it's still a little disappointing that my pen fucking exploded before I got to try it. A little while after this though, after Hunter tried to kill me with a triple shot, our food ends up getting here, which was some nice little Caesar's pizza, which we fucked up all 6 boxes of before drinking some more and saying happy birthday to Hayden. Somebody brought him a cake, but we had no plates and ended up eating that shit with cups. After that, it was time for me and Abel to dip though. Both down at least 2 ounces of weed, down a bottle, and down my hopes and dreams of doing Molly that night. Hayden did say he would hit me up for some caps though, so maybe that will be coming in a future video. As for this night though, I dropped Abel off, showered at home, and smoked some more before bed. Moral of this story: hot potato is a great game to play with friends, especially if you use a fake dispo as the potato. This was Fable though. Like and subscribe if you guys fucked with the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Talked on my name, brought this truck in the fall. Planning out a mission, got Taz on the call. Boy wanna snitch, so I robbed him in the hall. Ain't give no fucks, Fable really about it all.